Hello everyone. We have started with our new chapter, that is sterile dosage forms. In that we have started with the parenteral preparations. In previous lecture we studied what is meant by sterile product, what is the definition of parenteral preparations. Also we have seen the various routes to administer the parenteral preparations. Once we will revise what is meant by parenteral preparations. Okay. So parenteral preparations, these are the sterile products. They are either in a solution, suspension or emulsion form, which are administered by the hypodermic injection, okay, either in the form in which they are supplied or after the addition of a suitable solvent or a suspending agent. Okay. So basically the parenteral preparation should be sterile, either they are in solution, emulsion or suspension form, and are administered with the help of hypodermic needle by the various routes of administration like subcutaneous route, intracutaneous route, intramuscular, intravenous, intraarterial, intracardiac, intrathecal. Okay, so depending on the site of injection, there are various routes to administer these parenteral preparations. Okay, so next in this lecture we will see which are the different types of parenteral preparations. Okay, so depending on their physical form or in which form they are available, they are classified as 4 types. First one is the solutions or emulsions of medicaments suitable for injections. Okay, as we have seen, parenterals are either in a solution, suspension or emulsion form, or they may be supplied as a dry powder for the reconstitution. So first type is the solutions or emulsions of medicaments suitable for injection. So these are commonly called as injections and are supplied in a single dose or a multiple dose containers, and its volume varies from 0.5 ml to a liter. Okay, so first type is the solutions or emulsions, and these injections are commonly supplied as a single dose. Okay, either the whole content of the ampule are given at a one time, or they may be available as a multiple doses in the vials. Okay, and its volume varies from 0.5 ml to a liter. The examples are the atropine sulfate injection or the dextrose injection. Okay, their volumes varies from 0.5 up to liter, that is 0.5, 5 ml, 10 ml, okay, up to liter. The volumes are available, and its single dose is supplied in a single use ampules, and multiple doses are supplied in the vials with a rubber closure. The next type are the sterile solids. The drugs which are not stable in a solution are prepared and supplied as a dry sterile solids which are dissolved in a suitable solvent immediately before administration. Okay. The drugs which get degraded in presence of water or the aqueous solvent, for that drugs they are supplied as a dried solids, okay, or the sterile dried solids, and before administration to the patient, that solids are reconstituted with a given amount of sterile vehicle, and after that prepared solution or a suspension is immediately administered to the patient. Okay. स्टराईल सॉलिड्स का सप्लाय केले जातात, जे काही ड्रग वॉटरच्या कॉन्टॅक्टमध्ये आल्यानंतर किंवा अदर सॉल्वंटच्या कॉन्टॅक्टमध्ये आल्यानंतर डिग्रेड होतात, डिकम्पोज होतात, असे सॉलिड्स आपण जास्त काळांपर्यंत सोल्युशन फॉर्ममध्ये ठेवू शकत नाही. ओके, सो त्यांच्यासाठी काय केलं जातं, ते ड्राय ड्रग असंच ड्राय फॉर्ममध्ये सप्लाय केलं जातं आणि त्याच्यासोबत वॉटर फॉर इंजेक्शन किंवा जे काही सुटेबल सॉल्वंट असेल ते दिलं जातं. आणि पेशंटना ॲडमिनिस्टर करण्याच्या आधी ते व्हेइकल सॉलिड पावडरमध्ये मिक्स केलं जातं. ओके, त्यापासून आयदर सोल्युशन फॉर्म होऊ शकतं किंवा सस्पेन्शन, आणि ते इमिजिएटली पेशंटना ॲडमिनिस्टर केलं जातं. ओके, example is the benzyl penicillin G sodium injection. Penicillin get degraded in presence of solvent or water, so it is supplied as a dried powder, and before administration to the patient its solution or suspension is prepared, and after it is immediately injected to the patient. And these solutions are not kept for a long duration, or they are not stored for a long time, just they are immediately administered to the patient. The next type is the sterile suspensions. Okay. Some drugs are insoluble in solvent, or these are the sterile suspension of drugs in a suitable solvent which are administered by the intramuscular route. Okay, and the example is the sterile hydrocortisone acetate suspension. Hydrocortisone is a steroid, okay, which is insoluble in water, so its suspension is prepared, or the sterile suspension is prepared, and which is administered by the intramuscular route. Other drugs are also there which are insoluble in a solvent, so for that drugs its suspension is prepared, okay, and they are administered by the intramuscular routes, or other routes are also used. Here for hydrocortisone intramuscular route is used. The next are the transfusion fluids. So first thing is, transfusion means it is the process of transferring the blood or the blood components or the other electrolyte solutions by intravenous route. Okay, so these are the parenteral solution which are administered by the intravenous route, and they are generally used for nutrition and to maintain the electrolyte balance. Okay, certain blood components असतील, platelets असतील, RBCs असतील, okay, किंवा other electrolytes असतील, in case of electrolyte depletion or dehydration, the patient require the electrolytes. Okay, so either the blood components or the electrolytes are transfused in the body of patient by the intravenous route, and they are mainly available in a large volumes. Okay, so examples of transfusion fluids are simply known as salines. Okay, the different salines are given to the patient, that are known as transfusion fluids. Okay, certain thing is transferred in the body of patient for the purpose of nutrition or to maintain the electrolyte balance. So examples are the Ringer solution, then dextrose injection, sodium chloride injections. Okay, these are the examples of salines or transfusion fluids. Okay, so there are 4 types of parenterals. First one is soluble, or the solutions where the drug is soluble in solvent. For that solutions are prepared, or the sterile solutions are prepared where the drug get degraded in the presence of solvent. For that sterile solids are prepared, and that particular solid is reconstituted with given amount of solvent before the administration to the patient, and that prepared solution or suspension is immediately administered to the patient. Then third type is the sterile suspensions, the drugs which are insoluble in solvent. For that sterile suspensions are prepared. The next are the transfusion fluid. Okay, blood components or electrolyte solution or any other solution which are transferred to maintain the nutrition or to maintain the electrolyte balance in the patient. These salines or transfusion fluids are given by the intravenous route. Okay, so these are the 4 types of parenteral preparations: solutions, then sterile solids, sterile suspension, and the transfusion fluids. The next point is the general requirements of parenteral preparation. Okay, which are the ideal properties or which are the requirements for the parenteral preparation, or which ideal properties should possess. ओके, पॅरेंटल प्रिपरेशन करत असताना कोणते कोणते रिक्वायरमेंट्स आपल्याला फॉलो केले पाहिजेत किंवा ते अचीव केले पाहिजेत, तर ते आपण बघूया. किंवा कोणते पॉईंट्स आपल्याला कन्सिडर करावे लागतात टू मेक अ गुड प्रोडक्ट. ओके, सो द पॅरेंटल possesses the following requirements like stability, sterility, free from pyrogens, free from foreign particles, isotonicity, specific gravity, and the chemical purity. Okay, all types of parenteral should possesses this type of general qualities or the requirements. So we will explain one by one. First thing is the stability. Okay, so for parenteral preparation, the physical and chemical stability of the parenteral preparation is important and it must be maintained during the storage. Okay, all the parenteral preparations should be physically as well as chemically stable. Physically stable means what? There should not be any phase separation, okay, of the crystallization in the formulation, or they should be chemically stable means there should not be any color change or the reaction with the containers. Okay, so the parenteral should be physically as well as chemically stable, and that stability is maintained throughout its storage. Okay, the next one is the sterility. As I say in earlier lecture, that is what is meant by sterile. Sterile means anything which is completely free from all types of microorganisms as well as pyrogens. Okay, so parenteral should be sterile as they are injected directly in the blood circulation. They should be completely free from all types of microorganisms as well as pyrogens. So the parenteral preparation should be free from all types of microorganisms, and aseptic conditions are required to be maintained during the preparation of parenteral products and its administration. तर आता ही जी काही स्टरिलिटी आहे ती आपल्याला थ्रूआउट इट्स स्टोरेज किंवा ॲडमिनिस्टर करताना सुद्धा मेंटेन करायचे. ओके, द aseptic conditions are maintained during the storage as well as administration of the parenteral preparation. Okay, parenteral preparation administer करत असताना सुद्धा आपल्याला त्याची स्टरिलिटी मेंटेन करायची आहे किंवा तिथे कोणत्याही प्रकारचं कंटॅमिनेशन आपल्याला होऊ द्यायचं नाही आहे. सो तुम्ही हा एक्सपिरियन्स घेतला असेल की इंजेक्शन देत असताना काय करतात डॉक्टर्स, ज्या भागाला इंजेक्शन द्यायचं आहे तिथे स्पिरिटने ते स्टराईल करून घेतात एरिया, बरोबर आहे, आणि आफ्टर दॅट इंजेक्शन्स आर इंजेक्टेड टू द बॉडी. सो फ्रॉम स्टार्टिंग टू द ॲडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, पॅरेंटल प्रिपरेशनचं प्रिपरेशन करत असताना मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग, पुन्हा फिलिंग, स्टोरेज अप टू ॲडमिनिस्ट्रेशन करेपर्यंत आपल्याला ही स्टरिलिटी त्याची मेंटेन करायची आहे. So for that the parenteral products must pass for the test of sterility. Okay, so different tests for sterilities are done to check the sterility of product. Okay, and the sterility test is done by membrane filtration method or the direct inoculation method. So that we will discuss in detail in the next lectures. What is meant by sterility test and how it is done. So all parental products should be sterile from its manufacturing up to the administration of the preparation, or they maintain their sterility throughout the storage up to the administration to the patient. The next one is the free from pyrogens. Okay, so pyrogens, these are the metabolic products prepared by the different microorganisms, and if they are injected or they get enter in the body, they causes the rise in temperature of body of patient. Okay, pyrogens हे काय आहेत? मायक्रो ऑर्गॅनिझमचे मेटाबॉलिक प्रोडक्ट्स आहेत. ओके, इफ जर का ते पायरोजन्स बॉडीमध्ये एंटर झाले पेशंटच्या तर काय होतं आहे, बॉडी टेम्परेचर राईज होऊ शकतं. सो टू अवॉइड दिस कॉन्सिक्वेन्सेस all the sterile products should be free from pyrogens also. So the parental preparation should be free from toxins and the pyrogens, and it is necessary that the parental product should pass the test for pyrogens, because the contaminated parental product cause rise in a body temperature after its administration. ओके, जसं की तुम्हाला सांगितल्याप्रमाणे काय होतं, पायरोजन जर का चुकून ॲडमिनिस्टर केले गेले तर काय होतं आहे, बॉडी टेम्परेचर राईज होऊ शकतं. ओके, सो टू अवॉइड दिस, जे काही आपण पॅरेंटल किंवा स्टराईल प्रोडक्ट्स तयार करतो आहे, दे शुड बी फ्री फ्रॉम पायरोजन्स ऑल्सो. अँड टू चेक द प्रेझेन्स ऑफ पायरोजन, ऑब्सेन्स ऑफ पायरोजन, द टेस्ट फॉर पायरोजन्स इज डन. If the test passes, then we call it as the product is sterile or free from pyrogen. The next one is free from foreign particles. Okay, all our parentals should be free from visible foreign particles or the fibers. The parental products should be free from foreign particles such as dust or fibers, and to ensure this, the parental product must pass the clarity test. Okay, our parental products should be free from all types of foreign particles like dust and fibers. Okay, and to check the presence or absence of this dust or fibers, the clarity test is done. Okay, as we have already performed this clarity test in the practicals of pharmaceutics 1, in that we have checked the presence of fibers or dust in the parenteral preparation. The next one is the isotonicity. So first thing is, what is meant by tonicity? Tonicity is the amount of solute present in a particular solution. Okay, or the salts which are present in a particular solution. The next one is, what is meant by isotonicity? Iso means similar, and tonicity means it is the amount of or concentration of salts in a solution. Then isotonicity means what? Both the solution has the same concentration of salts in that. Okay, फर्स्ट थिंग तुम्हाला काय सांगितलं, टॉनिसिटी म्हणजे काय? इट इज द कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन ऑफ सॉल्ट्स और इट इज द अमाउंट ऑफ सॉल्ट्स इन अ पर्टिक्युलर सोल्यूशन. ओके, द नेक्स्ट थिंग इज, व्हॉट इज मीन बाय आयसोटोनिसिटी? आयसो मीन्स सिमिलर. जेव्हा आपण दोन सोल्युशन कंपेअर करतो इन टर्म्स ऑफ टॉनिसिटी, देन व्हॉट हॅपन? If that particular two solution has the same amount of concentration of solutes, then they are said to be isotonic. Okay, दोन्ही सोल्युशनमध्ये जर का सेम अमाऊंटमध्ये सोल्यूट्स असतील, सॉल्ट्स असतील, तर त्या दोन सोल्युशनला आपण काय म्हणतो? दे आर आयसोटोनिक विथ इच अदर. सो आवर parenteral preparation should be isotonic with our body fluids. ओके. तर आता हे आयसोटोनिक का असले पाहिजेत? इफ देअर इज अ डिफरन्स इन द टॉनिसिटी, देन व्हॉट हॅपन? द प्रोसेस ऑफ ऑस्मॉसिस गेट टेक्स प्लेस. व्हॉट इज मीन बाय ऑस्मॉसिस? It is the flow of solvent from the lower concentrated solution to the higher concentrated solution through a semi-permeable membrane. जर का दोन सोल्युशनची टॉनिसिटी डिफरंट असेल तर काय होतं आहे? लोअर कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन असलेल्या सोल्युशनमधून सॉल्वंट जे आहे ते हायर कॉन्सन्ट्रेटेड सोल्युशनकडे मूव्ह होतं आहे थ्रू अ सेमी परमिएबल मेम्ब्रेन. तर आता याचा रिलेशन आपल्याला इथे काय आहे पॅरेंटलमध्ये? तर जर का पॅरेंटल फॉर्म्युलेशन्स आयसोटोनिक नसतील आपल्या बॉडी फ्लुइड्सची तर काय होणार? आफ्टर देअर इंजेक्शन और ॲडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, जर का आपलं पॅरेंटल फॉर्म्युलेशन हे हायपोटोनिक असेल किंवा त्याची टोनिसिटी आपल्या बॉडी फ्लुइडपेक्षा कमी असेल तर काय होणार? सोल्युशन हे आपल्या सॉल्वंट हे आपल्या ब्लड सेल्समध्ये एंटर होणार आणि त्यामुळे काय होणार? आपल्या ब्लड सेल्सच्या स्वेल होऊन त्या ब्रस्ट होऊ शकतात. किंवा जर का आपलं इंजेक्शन हे हायपरटोनिक असेल किंवा त्याची टोनिसिटी जास्त असेल, कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन जास्त असेल तर काय होणार? आफ्टर इट्स ॲडमिनिस्ट्रेशन आपल्या ब्लड सेलमधला सॉल्वंट जे आहे ते किंवा वॉटर हे बाहेर येणार आहे. आणखीन आपल्या ब्लड सेल्स गेट श्रिंक. ओके, द श्रिंकेज of the blood cell may occur. So all the parental should be isotonic with our body fluids to avoid the swelling or shrinkage of the blood cells. Okay, so the parental preparation should be isotonic with the blood plasma and body fluids, and it is very important in order to avoid any complications on the administration of a parental products. So which are the complications may occur? That is either swelling of the blood cell or the shrinkage of the blood cells may occur. The next one is the specific gravity. Specific gravity is also known as the relative density. The parental product meant for the intraspinal injection should have the same specific gravity as that of the spinal fluid into which the same are to be injected. Okay, our parental preparation should have the specific gravity same as that of the body fluids. If the injection is meant for the spinal or the intraspinal injections, the particular injection should have the same specific gravity or the same relative density to that of the spinal fluid. For the proper mixing of that injection in the particular body fluids. ओके, जर का डेन्सिटी कमी असेल तर ते सोल्युशन फ्लोट होऊ शकतं किंवा ते प्रॉपरली मिक्स होणार नाही. सो फॉर द प्रॉपर मिक्सिंग ऑफ इंजेक्शन विथ द बॉडी फ्लुइड्स, इंजेक्शन शुड हॅव द सेम स्पेसिफिक ग्रॅव्हिटी और द सेम रिलेटिव्ह डेन्सिटी विथ द पर्टिक्युलर बॉडी फ्लुइड्स. The next one is the chemical purity. Okay, so the purity is also important. The parental product should be free from chemical impurities or it should be within the certain limit as specified in the monograph of that particular preparation in the pharmacopoeia. Okay, chemical purity means what? It should not possess any other salts or the metal ions beyond its limit which are specified in the pharmacopoeia. Okay, each type of injection it has its limit test. Particular ions or the metals or the salt should not exceeded to their limits. Okay, to maintain the chemical purity of our injection, or it should not present any other type of chemicals, metal ions or salts in it. Okay, or they should not exceed beyond their specified limit in the pharmacopoeia. They should be in the within the limit which are specified in the pharmacopoeias. Okay, so these are the ideal qualities each parental preparation should possess, that is, they should be stable, they should be sterile, they should be free from pyrogens, they should be free from foreign particles, they should be isotonic with our body fluids and the plasma, they should have the same specific gravity as that of the body fluids, also they should possess the chemical purity. Okay, so these are the general requirements of the ideal qualities of the parental preparation. Again, this is a important point as per the exam point of view. Many times this question is asked, that is, write down the general requirement of the ideal qualities of the parental preparation. So in that you have to write all these points. So in next points we will study the what is meant by sterility test, what are the tests for pyrogens, what is the clarity test. Okay. So on next lecture we start with the formulation of parentals, which are the additives added in the parental preparations. So thank you for your attention, and for any query please ask to me. Okay, thank you.